Welcome to the Leader Impact Podcast. We are a community of leaders with a network in over 350 cities around the world dedicated to optimizing our personal, professional, and spiritual lives to have impact. This show is where we have a chance to listen and engage with leaders who are living this out. We love talking with leaders, so if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions to make the show even better, please let us know. The best way to stay connected in Canada is through our newsletter at leaderimpact.ca or on social at LeaderImpact. And if you're listening from outside of Canada, check out our website at leaderimpact.com. I'm your host, Lisa Peters, and our guest today is Michelle McKown-Campbell. Michelle is a speaker, author, and employee re-engagement specialist who believes re-engagement is one of the greatest leadership opportunities of our time. With more than 25 years in leadership, HR, and coaching, Michelle brings both experience and insight to how leaders grow from the inside out. She is the founder of Activate the Awesome and co-author of She is Awakened, a faith-centered book that invites women to step confidently into their God-given mission. Michelle's work helps leaders reconnect with identity, faith, and purpose so they can thrive professionally, personally, and spiritually. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you for having me. It's lovely to be here, Lisa.
Oh, well, I'm excited. You are friends of Tara Brown.
Yes, I am.
And we just had her on the podcast and I loved her. And for hooking us up, I'm thankful. So thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's just a pleasure to be here. And yeah, she's phenomenal.
Yeah. And then, and I don't even believe in coincidences. I believe in God moments, but I was searching out a friend who's speaking at TEDx in Sugar Creek Women.
Yes.
And you're speaking there as well. So Corliss, Corliss was also on our podcast, and that we didn't even know. And you guys are at the same TEDx, so you get to meet her as well.
Absolutely. She's I'm so excited that I'm on the stage with her. So
yeah.
When you mentioned that, it was like, oh my goodness, this world's not so big, is it?
No. And you are in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I am, yes.
How's your weather there?
It's not too bad today. We've had some winter, which is really unusual for us, but we've managed to get through. So hopefully, fingers crossed, spring is on the way.
Spring is on the way. Awesome. All right. Well, in our podcast, we are looking for a bit of your professional story and how you got to where you are today, and really looking for those pivotal moments in your journey that got you where you are.
Yeah. Well, the reason I'm doing the work I'm doing now is because I moved from England to America. For 25 years in England, I was working in HR as a senior HR business partner, for multiple different companies as a consultant. And I would have continued doing that had I not have moved to America. And people always say, why did you move? Me and my now husband had a fabulous bottle of wine. And then this crazy idea evolved about why don't we look for work abroad? And so that's what we did. And when I got here, I thought I was always moving for him. But when I put my feet on the earth here, suddenly my world went boom. And I knew there was a bigger mission. And for nearly 4 years, I couldn't work because of visas. And so I had to really go back and tap back into who am I? What is my purpose in this world? I no longer am a HR manager. So who am I? What is it I really want to do? What do I love about the work I've done? What do I want to do more of? And on a day when I was getting really frustrated with not being able to work because I tried everything and every door got closed. And so I volunteered a lot through that time. And I gave my services away and worked with people who wanted to up-level their resumes for free. And through that time, as I was journaling, as I wrote out, why do people not know their value? Why do people not put their hand up and say, yes, I can do that? I would be sitting in interviews back in the day and want to kick people under the table because they had missed this beautiful opportunity to share with the manager their skills, their awesomeness. And as I wrote out because you have not started the work. And that's when I realized that maybe there was a bigger purpose for me. I was meant to be showing people their awesomeness, the awesomeness that's already in now. And that's how my business started. It wasn't on a vision board, ever.
I think listening to you, I think so many women, even going back to work, right? Like maybe we've stepped away and we don't know what are we good at anymore. Like if we stepped away very, very important job of raising our families. And then we go back. So just understanding that. But I want to go back to that moment where you put your feet on the ground and you couldn't get a job and for years. Give me that, how you felt, because I think people listening could resonate with that. I just want to hear it from you. Like, how did you feel?
To start with, because I can say this now from hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Oh, yes.
But at the time it was terrifying. I had a 3-year-old. I was in a new country that we speak apparently the same language, and yet I didn't understand them, and I never felt like anybody understood me. And so I was in this world of nothing made sense, and my identity had been stripped, and it was terrifying. I was here, and my husband had a great job, thank goodness, because we had been told, like, don't worry, your visa will be fine. But to be dependent in that way, that's the first time in my life I'd ever been dependent on anyone, ever. And so that was terrifying. It takes you through every emotion. There are days when you're like, right, yes, I'm going to do this. And this is how my story unfolded, because what I recognized by journaling and just trying to get out into the community and meet people, I had to literally throw myself into different activities to see what do I want to do, because I'd never been around through the day. I'm having a hot flush. I didn't know even about daytime TV. I'd never been in that world. And so I really had to just stop and think, okay, what is it that I want to do? I've got an opportunity here. I can sit and I can mope. And trust me, I did for a while. But at some point you have to brush yourself up, get up and think, okay, what do I want to do today? And get out there and just try it. And so it was kind of an experiment of, I'll just try anything, really, to get and meet people. And as I met people, the hardest thing, people would say, what do you do? And I wouldn't have an answer for that, because I didn't know, what do I do? I'm not an HR person anymore. I'm not that label. I don't have that company to back me up. And so I had to find the answer by testing the waters. And actually, I found my first clients through saying, I can help. You're looking for a job. I can help. I can do that. And it made me think, actually, I've got so many skills that I can still utilize. So let's create the world I want to be in.
Oh.
Yeah.
I also think, as I'm listening to you, and I think of myself just transitioning from working full-time to not working full-time, but I have transitioned to boards, to being on many multiple boards, to volunteering, and I have found a new purpose in life. It's still the same purpose, but it's different now. But it was really hard, because as you said, people ask you, what do you do? And you're like, we put so much, I don't know what I do. We put so much effort into, I'm a HR rep, I'm a engineer, I'm a teacher, a nurse, we put so much into that versus our purpose. So now I have to read your book. I'm like, oh. So we're going to move on and just ask you about your principle of success. If you have one, if you have a story that illustrates that.
Principle of success. Well, success is an interesting thing. Because what I've learned through the years is success is not what I thought it was when I was in my 20s. I thought it was about getting that promotion, getting to that salary. And I suddenly realized through the work that I do now, it's actually flexibility to be with my son when he needs me, or when he's doing something at school. To get involved with the school, having time to not live lavishly, but if I wanted to take a day off or travel or go somewhere, that I can do that. I have the flexibility to do that. So success for me is doing everything I'm passionate about, having that variety, not being put into a box, and being able to think, really be intentional about the steps I take each day. Success is also slow for me. I thought you had to go as fast as possible. It was a race and you were meant to do it on your own. And actually what I realize now is success actually is being able to slow down. How many of us go to a supermarket and slowly go around the aisles and read the labels and, think, do I need this as we're holding it, and really indulging in that activity? I would say most of us run in with our list, get the 2 or 3 things, go out, realize we've forgotten something. Oh, we'll do that next. Like it's rush, rush, rush. And so success is being able to slow down and really think, what are my next 2 or 3 steps for
That's
me?
really hard, isn't it?
It is
You
really
want it
difficult.
to happen.
Yeah, but I say to my
Yeah.
clients, when my one-on-one clients, a lot of them are looking to transition in work, and if they are not in work at that point and they've got that freedom, so often they will look at what they haven't got, what they could have done, should have done, would have done. I talk about this all the time in life, instead of actually what you have got. And in that moment, you have some time to go and be really indulgent in your day to day. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, like carry on for months, because you want to get back into doing what you're meant to be doing. But if you've got the free time, why not? Why not have a bath in the middle of the day? I can't think of anything more fun, or go to the cinema on a Monday afternoon. I've done that myself, just me, because I'd like to see this movie. I don't need to wait to the weekend. I could do this, find the time for me. And that to me is absolute success.
Yeah. There's so much guilt in having a bath in the middle of the day, or,
Isn't it?
right? Because we think we need to be doing something. We need to be, is it built into our brains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Should
remember
have.
being here when I wasn't working. And my husband came home, and I rarely put the TV on, but I was watching a movie. And I remember him walking through the door and me jumping up and turning it
Yes.
off. And then thinking, what am I doing? Like, he doesn't care. So why do I care? Like, I took a moment for me. And that was the defining minute of, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Why is there guilt here?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Oh,
need to
speak in my language, Michelle.
be.
I'm excited for the next question just because I love hearing stories and I love hearing them for the first time. So I'm thinking we can agree that we learn more from our failures than our successes, our failures and our mistakes and all that in life than our own successes. So would you be able to share a failing, a great failure, and what you learned from it?
Oh my goodness. Yes. You'll read in the book actually about my early years. So it's really easy, and I talk about this a lot in my keynotes. It's really easy to see somebody up on the stage and assume, well, that's okay for them because they are really confident. That's just their strength. And so what I say, before I even start talking a lot of the time is, in my early teens, I was in a really dark place. I could see everything that was wrong with me and everything that seemed to be right with the world. I didn't view myself as having anything to offer this world. And now I can say, my name's Michelle, and it dawned on me when I got to America that if I tried to explain in my teens how I felt, it was like living in the back of my shell, terrified of the world. I was so shy. I couldn't speak to people. I couldn't put my hand up in class. Like it was really tough for me. And so I recognize now that, in those dark times, I really decided I don't want to be on this planet anymore. And I would retreat into this darkness. And every so often through my 20s and 30s, I would leap out like, I'm going to be in color, stand in the light. And I always thought that I was afraid of failure. And actually, what I realize now is I wasn't actually afraid of failure at all. I was afraid of success. I
Yeah.
was afraid of being seen, like fully standing in the light. And I don't know if you know the poem from Marianne Williamson, Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And she's absolutely right. That poem is just beautiful. It goes on to tell you, who are you to dim your light? Like that, we all have a purpose in this world, and we are all meant to be exactly who we're meant to be. Not perfect, just the messiness of it. And so I say that, yes, for me, it was a failure that I got to that place, but actually I couldn't be doing the work I do in the way that I do it had I not been through that. Because for years I thought that we were meant to find ourselves in others. We were meant to go find our tribe. And so I would go and try and fit into that. When actually, when you come back to who you are and recognize that, I am this person, and I talk about the tapestry of awesome, the good, the bad, the downright ugly, and the truly awesome, all of it makes who you are. When you tap into that, your tribe finds you.
Yeah.
There's a peace with that.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was a really dark moment, years of my life, and yet the best gift I could have been given.
Yeah. A couple things grabbed me there. That poem is called Our Deepest Fear.
I believe so, yes.
So
yes.
That is somewhere in my books. As soon as you said that, I'm like, I know that poem. And I'm like, as soon as we're done this, I'm going to go find it. And
Yeah.
I know I have it.
Course of Miracles, or it's from that.
Okay, I'm going to look it up. And when you talked about you're not afraid of failure, you're afraid of success. I've heard of that before, but until you said the words, I'm afraid of being seen. We're afraid of being vulnerable. We're afraid of, so, I mean, because here you are about to step on a TEDx stage.
Yes.
And, you are going to be seen. You are, and I don't know your story. I don't know what you're saying, but you got to be good to be on TEDx, like just saying, right?
It's kind of a dream. Like, this is something that I've watched for years and thought it was always other people, not me.
Right.
So to get the yes was, I'm pinching myself. Like, I cannot believe that I'm doing it. And yet I'm so excited about it. On the outside, and I feel like a lot of leaders are in this place, okay? On the outside, we look like we have it all together. Okay, we know what we're doing. We're composed. In HR, HR was the most perfect place for me to be, because you give to the organization, yet we have this kind of barrier for us that people don't get in, like, to us. We're doing it all for them. And so HR was a great place to be, to hide. And I think as leaders, that's what we do. It's so often, we know what failure is. We know what that feels like. And, I always ask the question, are you fully in the light? Because I know through school, I would tick the boxes, just do enough. And actually school, I've seen it in my son, he's 11. He knows what boxes to tick, just to do enough and get by. How often do we fully commit? And I think so often when I'm speaking to young adults, they are not fully committing. They're ticking the boxes just to get by. Because what happens if you fully commit and throw yourself in and then you fail? You've given your all. So you just do enough. And I always talk about, this shell, because we can feel like we're stood in the light and actually we're not giving even a tiny bit of ourselves. There's so much more potential. And I see this time and time again, in individuals that tell me they're not enough, in teams that tell me that they don't have the skills, the experience, or the know-how to reach the goal. And in organizations that tell me that engagement is a problem that need to be fixed. We've not got to go out and outsource something. Actually, the potential's already there. We just can't see it. And we're afraid to step fully in and say, this is us.
I love listening to that, because this is just reiterating the story of your life. Like, you live this. You didn't. You were HR. You didn't think you had the skills yet. They were there. You just have to find them and going out. And I love such a good story. Thank you for continuing to share. So at Leader Impact, our group, we want to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually for increasing impact. So would you be willing to share a story or an example of how the spiritual makes a practical difference in your life as a leader?
Well, I'm going to share the story of the book because just even how it came about that I was in this book was definitely a God-led thing. Because this is not something, you think, I thought for many, many years, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to be in a book. And I've been writing my book, Activate the Awesome, forever. I can see all the Post-its like ready to go. And, it's been a work in progress. But again, this is standing in the light. And so you come out, you think, yes, I'm doing it this year. You start and then you shrink back into the shadows and other things take over. From a spiritual point of view, everything I do is about sitting, taking a moment, and actually asking first, what is it I'm meant to be doing?
Yeah.
Not just this book came about because of that, where a friend of mine that I'd known for many, many years over in the UK reached out and said to me, I feel like I've been told you need to be in this book. And I said, oh no, this is it's Kingdom Women is her community. This is a faith-based book about business leaders. And I said, I'm not sure I'm that. I don't go to church. I don't think I'm that person. And she said, I know you're that person because of the work that you do, because everything I do is about finding identity. And identity with me is with God. And so it's one and the same. And I said, no, I don't think that's me. And she said, I'll leave it. I'll come back. And so she came back to me and she said, I've got another few people I want you to meet. You need to be in this book. And I said, I don't think I have enough to say about this topic. And she said, I know you're meant to be in this book. Anyway, I bought a book from Amazon. I don't remember buying this book, but a book turns up from Amazon. It's a children's book all about the great oak and the acorn, and the fact that when the acorn is planted, it doesn't question it's a great oak. It just lives out. And the work I do in workshops is about creating your awesome tree. And so I read this book, and I never do this because usually they come in, don't they? We all order the books, they come in, they go on the side for quite some time. But I read it from cover to cover instantly. And I posted about this. And she came back to me, my friend, and she said, that is our pastor in our church. She said, you need to be in my book. This is a sign. And so I signed up to do this book thinking, okay, I will write my chapter. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do because I didn't feel ready. I didn't feel I knew enough to speak on this. And yet I realized through this process, which didn't turn into just this book I'm looking at here, but it turned out to be this book and a conference in London. It turned out that I was the voice of the person that was just coming back to faith. My faith has always been here with me. I've always had a conversation every morning before I open my eyes. I am in conversation with God. And when the answers come back, it comes back in poetry, full poetry. It comes out of me. And yet I hadn't realized that that's what this connection, that's what faith meant, to have this personal connection with spirit. I always believed it was about doing the things. And so to be part of this journey and be terrified at the beginning and start to do Bible studies through it and then go and speak in London as a faith-based business was just a phenomenal journey. So I say that in respect of it's about a personal connection. It's that pause again, isn't it? It's that slowing down. And it's that trust. I never understood what surrender and trust was. And so I kind of marry it with the GPS. When you put the directions in the GPS, I am the girl so often that argues with it because apparently I know better.
Oh boy.
And that's what it reminds me of. Like when you ask, be careful what you ask for. I've learned that, be careful what you ask for. But when you fully ask and you trust and you surrender by doing the steps, taking the action just day by day, it's amazing. Like it never goes wrong. And so that's been my journey. This last year has been absolutely that. Going from I'm not enough and I'm not the right voice to yes, I am, because I was the voice that would say to the other ladies who were very, I would say very mature in their journey. I would be like, excuse me, I don't understand. Can you please explain? Mm-hmm. So that was opening the door for others to say, ask the crazy questions and just be who they are.
So your book invites women to step confidently into their God-given mission. Would you say that people reading the book already believe in God, or are they seeking more? They want more in life. They want more purpose.
Yeah. So there's 12 authors in this book. And I would say it covers every situation. I'm speaking to the one that has been away maybe and is looking for a door in, to know that yes, you can. Like, you've been on this journey, and there isn't that you've disappeared and the door's closed now. The door's always open, but it just doesn't have to be in the way that perhaps you were brought up for it to be. Uh, so regimented. It starts with you, and it starts with opening your heart in that conversation. But yeah, I think that's what's so beautiful about this book. There are there are authors, women authors from all over the world in this book. It's not just our story, it's our story, it's our activities that we do. So I talk about a prayer wall, which is crazy because I've always done this. I didn't know it was a prayer wall. And then I watch, I think it's Unsung Hero with a movie that talks about a prayer wall. And then somebody said to me, I kept hearing, you need to watch War Rooms. War Rooms. Never heard of this movie before. Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's a beautiful movie. So I sat down one afternoon and watched War Rooms. The crazy thing was, Lisa, as I'm sitting watching War Rooms, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I know that place. And it was filmed all around my area. And so the shopping center I go to, that's where it was filmed. And the Charlotte City is all in it. I had no idea. I know people that worked on that set. It blew my mind after I found out this. But in that, it talks about having this prayer wall, a wall that is dedicated. And I have it in my office that I ask, and I put my Post-its up, and I move my Post-its and transition them as things happen. And this is where I've learned, be careful what you ask for. Ask for enough. Because when we limit ourselves, and I've asked for something and I think, firstly, it's not going to come the way I think it's going to come. So keep your eyes and ears peeled so that you can move your Post-its. The second thing is to to keep doing the work. We don't just sit and wait. But also to ask for enough, because I will think, I didn't get that. It's not happening. And then when we ask, and this money's a great one, when we ask about money, or, how much we want to earn in a year or a month or whatever it is, add up all of the discounts that you get, the money you find, the money, on the floor, the money that comes randomly, because all of this is money. It's not just what's in your bank account, or add up the experiences that you're having.
Oh,
You paid for something, but you're getting extra, because all of this is it's money. So when we start to add in everything, actually we're above and beyond what we've probably asked for.
right.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I never thought of that. Just, you asked for something, but it's coming at you. It's not coming at you in the way you asked for. It's coming to you, but it's not. So in anything you ask for, it's coming in discounts, or
yes,
like a government check, or like it's whatever. It's different. Oh,
yeah. And be
brilliant.
joyful about that. Really joyful. The science of getting rich talks about this. It's obviously having your eyes and ears peeled all the time, because we've got messages coming at us all the time. It might be a piece of music, or a signpost. My business started properly when I kind of thought, right, I'm doing this. Okay. I used to drive past a huge billboard on the side of the freeway. Okay. And I'm not joking. Every day, because my son went to school. So we drove past it on the way to school, and I drove back. So that's 4 times a day. Okay. Every time I drove past that, it would flash bright red. Okay. It's one of those electronic signs. And it would say, tell people about your business. It is good. Tell people about your business. And I thought the first few times, okay, it just wants you to advertise there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I said to my husband, do you ever see the sign, the big red sign? Tell people about your business. And he went, no. I said, every time I drive past. So one day I didn't see it, and I thought, okay, it's just PR. And then I looked in my rearview mirror. It was on the other side. Okay. That happened for months, a good 4 to 6 months, that every time. And if my husband was in the car, I've got one picture of it, clip. He never saw it.
Wow. I don't.
So there are messages.
Right. God speaks to us in so many ways.
Yes. Gotta have our
I
eyes and ears open.
Yeah, I love hearing about your chapter because that's what Leader Impact is. You just have to want more to sort of be part of our groups. If you're a marketplace leader and you want to integrate your personal, professional spirit, just join us. Just talk. I mean, we're doing leadership things. So that's why I love listening to that. Is that you like just join us? Just join us for it's free, Leader Impact group. So thank you for saying that and then reminding me that I need to talk
Yes.
about that. And I love the prayer wall. I'm like, I should find a book to write my prayers. You know what? I got walls.
Yeah.
I gotta put them on the
It has
wall.
to be up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
It could be on a mirror, on your bathroom mirror. I write things up. I think so often we're told to put things in journals, write them down. But then we close the book, and then when do we go back to it? And I don't get me wrong, I'm not one for routine. Okay, I'm one for, and the Awesome Framework is all about using your tools as and when you need them. You don't have a set routine. So when I'm pulled to write, I sit and write. It's lovely to go back. And that's when I realized, I should have asked for more. That's
Yeah.
when I realized, you can celebrate. The prayer rule, seeing it up. If you've got other people in the house, they see it too. And it becomes we would do it for business, wouldn't we? We'd put all our Post-its up. It's one and the same thing. And so I think so often we're told that, all of our different worlds need to be in different compartments, and actually they are a whole. My faith is part of everything I do. And so my family are part of my business and everything I do. So they need to see what I'm doing, and maybe they don't do it with me, but maybe my son, I hear my son, he might sit in the back of the room when I'm doing a workshop and he's on his tablet with his headphones on. But it's hilarious when he then repeats me to his friend and I overhear him. I have to act like I've not heard anything. I'm having that moment of yes.
Yeah.
Or my husband picks up, or, my parents mention something, and I think, I know where you've got that from.
Yeah.
It's part and parcel. We include everything.
Oh, good. At Leader Impact, we're dedicated to leaders having a lasting impact. And so as you continue to move through this amazing journey in your life, have you considered what you want your faith legacy to be when you leave this world?
My faith legacy. Simplicity is what comes to mind. Simplicity, that it's already within you. Activating your awesome is all about tapping into what already is the truth. And the truth is you are God. You are aligned with God. Your identity is exactly what it's meant to be in this moment. If it should change tomorrow, we're growing all the time. But right here, right now, we have so much untapped potential, so much to celebrate, which is actually what I'm going to be talking about in TEDx, but so much to celebrate in this moment. And I love the fact that I didn't plan on talking about, all of the signs, etc. But when we really open our eyes and our ears to what this world really is, and the fact that we are supported, guided, held by God, Holy Spirit, Jesus is with us, every day. When we tap into the magic of that, there is so much to celebrate in each and every moment, even in our darkest moments. In our darkest moments, we learn so much about ourselves. So keeping it simple. It's not that you have to go do this, that, and the next thing. It's just you have to know, if anything, before I open my eyes, literally before I get out of bed, I'm having a conversation of, hey, thanks for letting me be here. And it's bizarre. So it's just natural that that's happening. And having those quiet moments, not that, at certain times of the day, you have to sit and do your journal or sit and do your prayer wall or this, and it's all very, structured, but just feeling into all of that and keeping it really simple. There's no one tool and there's no one way. There's your way. And that's the right way.
Right. Oh, simplicity. Oh, we I make life so difficult. It's my fault sometimes. Yeah.
I think we all do though, don't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah. But to
I was
hear,
told,
yeah.
sorry.
No, I just to hear you say it and just to see you living it, like living it right now. Um,
I'm no expert, like I'm,
yeah.
but I'm trying. I just think to slow down and keep things real simple. Someone said to me ages ago, life is like a 4-letter word. It's not meant to be complicated. The world will tell us it needs to be complicated because
Yes.
then we need all the stuff to help us out or the people to fix it and get us through. But actually, I find with my clients that when we sit and we slow down and we really tap into who we are, actually we've got more here to be able to move us forward than we ever thought.
Yeah.
So start there.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. My final question for you is, what brings you the greatest joy?
Oh my goodness, the greatest joy. I have to say my son because he challenges me day on day. But in my work, when I see the light bulb go on and people recognize, oh my goodness, I can do this and I have got this. Yeah, I don't have to don't have to get a qualification. I don't have to buy the dress, get the car, like all the stuff. Actually, I have what I need right here, right now. And when they see themselves in full color, so nothing I do, nothing I do is really black and white. It's all, our lives are meant to be full color. And so, in a workshop, when I see people get up and do a conga line, because that's what we do, I don't ask if you would like to. I mean, if someone really didn't want to, I would let them stay aside. No one's done it yet. So, but it's about connecting in and people thinking, oh, I didn't think I could do that. And now I see I can. I didn't think I had that. And now I see I have. When we focus on what we have got and what we can do, oh my goodness, life gets really exciting.
Yeah.
It's the best joy.
Yeah. I love that. I think surrounding yourselves with people that when your light bulb goes off and you are about to shine, they are with you to encourage you, right? Like you're that person for them, but we all need that. We need that in our lives. We need other people around us that when the light bulb goes off, they're your number one cheerleader. And they're, they're the ones that continue to shine the light and on you.
That's what I understand when people say, think about the five people you hang out with most, and make sure that they're those people. You want people that when, the day that I said, I want to activate the awesome of 1 million people by 2030. And for each person I speak to or coach or do a workshop, I put a fluorescent star up on my ceiling. And it's just beautiful to go into my room and turn the lights out and look up. Okay. But the day that seriously, I never thought it would be a thing, but it is spreading across my ceiling.
Yeah.
And it's just so exciting. But the day I said that out loud was another God moment. Okay. I wasn't planning. That wasn't written down on a board as a goal. It was somebody asked me, what if you had a big bodacious goal, what would it be? And these words came out of my mouth. And I thought, what? I'm into panic. The people you need around you are those people that go, oh yes, I want to be part of that. Let's get going. Like they didn't go, huh? What? They were absolutely, of course you can do that. Why not? That's what you need around you.
Yeah. I'm always amazed at the people that I'll share something with them and out of the blue, they'll say, how can I help you? Like, and they know you, but they don't really know you, but they believe in you and they can see that light. And so makes me think I need to say that more when I see in someone, how can I help you? Like I feel like I can do something, right?
Yes. We'll know somebody or we can do something.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more exciting than that, is seeing other people progress and do well and succeed. When I worked in business, in corporate, that's how I saw leadership. It's not for you to keep everybody here, but you want them to develop and grow and go beyond, the expectations. You want to show them their full potential.
Yeah.
It's true leadership.
Yeah. Well, I know that I show up here because I just love meeting people and hearing stories. And I think you could put a star on your ceiling for me because you're
going up there.
You've just changed me, just the way I think in the prayer wall and some of the books you've said. And so Thank you, Michelle, for spending this time with us and with Leader Impact. And you said some really great nuggets, and I'm going to listen again because I just have loved meeting you, and I want to wish you the best of luck on TEDx. This is crazy. So thank you for joining us. Now, if people want to reach out, engage with you, how can they find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Michelle McKown-Campbell, or they can find me on my website, activatetheawesome.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us, and best of luck in Sugar Creek Women.
Yes, right. Thanks so much, Lisa. It's lovely to be here.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us. If you're part of Leader Impact, you can always discuss or share this podcast with your group. And if you're not yet part of Leader Impact and would like to find out more and grow your leadership, find our podcast page on our website at leaderimpact.ca. You can also check out groups available in Canada at leaderimpact.ca, or if you're listening from anywhere else in the world, check out leaderimpact.com or get in touch with us by email, info@leaderimpact.ca, and we will connect you. And if you like this podcast, please leave us a comment, give us a rating or review. This will help other global leaders find our podcast. Thank you for engaging with us. And remember, impact starts with you.